Hi, I'm your host, Courtney Webb, and this is Courtside, a digital series about QVC entrepreneurs. And I'm bringing you one that you may very well know, and her name is Miss Renee Greenstein. Welcome on in, Miss Renee. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Oh, doing all right, doing all right. So first off, I just have to ask, how long have you been at QVC now?
Oh, over 20 years, 27 years. Yeah.
That is amazing. So you actually started off as a fit model, which I never get to hear this whole story. So I'm so happy we have this opportunity. Tell us how fit modeling kind of opened your eyes into wanting to create your own collections.
Okay. Fit model. And I always say this because people go like, oh, she's saying she's fit. I'm not saying I'm fit. Fit model is when you work with a pattern maker, with a manufacturer, and you fit the garment and you let them know, can you reach up? Can you bend? Can you move? The button's not in the right place, that type of thing. So that's what I was doing. And, then, a lot of times you might say, oh, I love that. So they might, if they're a nice manufacturer, would give you give you a garment once it's produced. And I started seeing that a lot of stuff that I would get didn't fit. And I went, what is this? I'm not a mannequin. And that's when I said, you know what? And then people would say, I love what you're wearing and everything. And I just said, you know what? I've got to do it for me. I love the way this looked, but it's just not making me comfortable. And that's how it all started.
Oh, and then you actually have two collections here at
Yes,
the Q. You have Attitudes by Renee and Women with Control.
right. So
So,
I started off at UBC with City Knits,
okay.
the collection of sophisticated lady clothing. My mantra was Donna Karan and, the six easy pieces. And I've traveled since I'm 12 years old. So I was always on a plane and I didn't want, I've never, ever, ever checked luggage.
Oh,
Okay. So from there, when I left doing City Knits, which was theirs, I started doing Attitudes by Renee, but in London. I went to, because my buyer said, hey, there's this woman that did the City Knits line. It's really, really great. Why don't we go and, go there? But then when I came back, Mother Nature was starting to do a little trick on, parts of the body. And I said, no, 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 no. Anti-gravity uplifting. So the flexion was Women with Control, which is no more wiggle, no more jiggle.
yeah.
It's butt lifting, 14% spandex. I'm not into athletic wear. I mean, I'm not as athletic as you are, and I like you, but I wanted to have that support, but in something that was more of a, polished type of pant. So even with the 14, as I call it, butt lifting percent spandex, it's a matte finish, which took me years to develop, to have all of that spandex, but not have the shine, and in a cotton, blend. So that's what that was. And when I would wear tops on air, Jane Brown and all, what is that top? What are you wearing? And I said, well, that's mine. And that's where I brought Attitudes by Renee to the States. So that's the two collections, the bottoms and
Hmm.
uplift, keep the tummy smooth, look like we worked out like you do. And then and then the complement, as I call it, the canvas, wear the canvas,
Hmm.
finish painting the picture, is like a top I have on, too chic to sleep type of top.
Oh, I love that. I really love how your mantra is really giving women clothes that they feel comfortable, confident in, but also look fantastic because you
Right.
really put the quality behind that. So you said you traveled since you were 12. Tell me a little bit about that. I mean, why were you traveling? Was it just something because you loved it? Did work require it? And then
Oh,
how did that stem into some
I,
of your
I,
collection?
I had family, an aunt that lived in Paris, and I would go back and forth. And then as I got older, I majored in theology in college, which don't ask me why. But then, I love people and I love clothing. Man, I loved reading about Coco Chanel and Scapielli. I mean, girls my age didn't even know who they were, but I was always into this fashion. And then, would love the traveling and everything, because for me, an airplane is better than a car. So, I always going to France and going here, and I've had friends that lived all over the world. So that's why I always traveled. And then when I started getting into my own business, is going to the shows, is
Mhm.
sitting at a cafe, a bistro in Paris, and having a glass of champagne with frites and voyeuring, watching the people, watching the women go by. And Parisian women had such an air about them. I always said a bag lady in Paris dressed chic. It was totally different. And she would have this scarf and the accessories and everything. So that's why, my inspiration, I go to Saint-Tropez, I go to the Côte d'Azur, the Amalfi Coast, I go to Prague, go all over, because looking at stained glass in a very ancient synagogue or cathedral
Mm-hmm.
is magnificent. You know what I'm saying? To see that the artwork and everything, to see paintings, and I get inspiration from colors and everywhere.
And the colors that you bring are so saturated and rich. They're absolutely lovely. So I love that we can shop those two collections on QVC.com. But so you started off at Q before you brought your own lines, and then you've been here 20 years. Tell me some of the
Oh,
highlights of being at QVC and why you love to design for our customer.
well, I love being with QVC, and what brought me, and I appreciated QVC, is that they are about the quality, the consumer, the quality, and the value. And I came from wearing very high-end clothing, okay? And when I came to QVC, I loved that they did not charge different pricing. When I was in department stores and selling department stores, it was one price for the regular and one price for the plus size lady. We're all women. Own your curves, own who you are. So I love that they always gave you one price. I mean, for a manufacturer, it's difficult, but I love that. And the platform is really great. And to get out there, when I decided to do the clothing of Women with Control and Attitudes by Renee, it was a great platform to have. And I really admire what they do and how they get everything out there. And the audience you get is amazing.
It is. And we get such a variety of people from all over the nation. And then, of course, QVC spans globally. So the fact that we're able to kind of reach and have connections and relationships with so many is really awesome. And it's such a blessing.
Right.
So you actually not only been influenced by so many, not by just travel, but you have a saying that I love. You say, style is not about size, it's about attitude. Tell me where that mantra kind of came from, because it's definitely your signature.
Well, again, talking about we're all different sizes and shapes, ethnicities and everything. And it's not about the size. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't want any woman that she's at 24. Own it, girl. Own your curves, own your body, because it's not about style, it's not about size, it's about attitude. Because when you put something on, okay, and women, we're probably the least to give, confirmation to another woman or a compliment. We might look her up and down and say she looks good. It's very difficult sometimes for a woman to say, Courtney, you look great. I love that striped sweater on you. When someone says it to you, you're going to all of a sudden, like, oh, Courtney, did you lose weight? Where have you been?
Yeah.
Nothing. It's just a top that I have. And you're going to, get that positive upliftingness of attitude.
It's all about the affirmation. And I feel like you are such a great person to do that, because you really want to connect with women and you have an empathy for us, like all of us, all of our sizes, everything that we've come from. So speaking of women, who are a couple women in your life maybe that actually inspired you? And then also, how does that transition from the business that you have to balancing family? Because I know that as an entrepreneur, that's always one of the top questions a lot of us have.
Well, I would say, as I said, influencing in my life was the, Coco Chanel or the Scapielli, Donna Karan, who I do know, socially, but I think she's great. And that, the 5, 6 easy pieces. And I know when she first started selling in Bergdorf's and everything, I was just in awe of the bodysuit, the T-shirt, the basic pieces. And that's what my mantra is, to do those basic pieces. Once you have a pair, honey, if you have a pair of black pants that fit you, okay, get them like 5 pair, and add
Right.
the top and the sweater and the jacket and the scarf and the whole thing, and work it that way. And working with my family, I mean, my little princess, who's my granddaughter Aya, is very artistic, and she basically told her daddy one day, "Don't you understand? I'm a mini Nene," because she is a mini me. God help us. But she is very artistic, and she's done paintings for me, and she loves design and everything. And I'll bring her into the studio. I mean, I have a painting that she did that I made a print out of and called the Aya Legacy. It's a T-shirt that was on my Women with Control T-shirt line. So, and then having little Levi, but life is not a dress rehearsal. Another saying that I say is, life is not a dress rehearsal for today. So I find time and structure yourself that I can multitask. Okay, I don't look at my profession as a job. It's an aspiration. It's something that I love doing. I love when women come up to me and dance and say, "No more wiggle, no more jiggle," because
Yeah.
it's all about girl power. It takes a village. And then spending time with my little ones and my family, because you know what? They're here. They're not here. I'm not here. You can't get it back. So working both. And plus, I don't need to sleep that much.
If you could pass that on to me, because I am like having sleep deprivation and I don't even have children yet. So I feel like I have no excuse.
But you know what? When you have children, you'll see.
Okay. So then I'll actually work the muscle
Yeah,
of no sleep.
yeah.
Perfect. Then I'm ready because I'm struggling a little bit. All right. So you are obviously, like all of us, experiencing this kind of global boundaries that we've been given, where we are kind of restricted into our homes. How are
Right.
you staying optimistic? How are you staying connected? And how are you looking at your company in that way? Just
Well,
give
I'm
us
going
some
to the third grade
inspiration.
because I've never been in one place so long.
Ah, I'm
Okay.
sure.
So, I had a Instagram live with Mark Peters from Not My Daughter's Jeans, and he knows me very well. And he said, "How are you dealing with this?" So I said, "I'm working harder now than I ever have because we have Zoom, what we call MASH sessions with my whole team. So my whole studio, all of us get together in the morning and in the evening. And then in between, I'm doing Instagrams, I'm doing, FaceTime lives, I'm doing things, I'm designing, I'm, going through magazines. I have a library closet. I'm out here in Pennsylvania, which I call my work home.
Yep.
Live in Manhattan, but, it's easy and safer to be out here. So I have this library closet. So I go in every once in a while, and the whole team will tell you, they'll say, "Oh, God, she's in the closet." Because what about this? What about that? What do we do here? Let's change this sleeve. Let's do that. And they go like, "Oh, she's doing it again." So
Yep.
it's keeping me busy. It's going on. I love that the internet is fabulous. So you can look at certain shows and, I have a lot of friends who are designers. I have, I'm in touch with Milano, even though everybody's locked down globally. London, I speak to Donna, who's my ambassador at QVC UK. We're in Japan, but globally, you still can keep touch and see and what's going to be the next thing. What do you do? Okay, I said to someone, saying, I believe masks are going to be part of our life. 9/11, we changed one way. This is going to be part of our life. There's a Chanel mask. Gucci's making masks. Everyone is. And I said to someone, you have children at home, let them decorate a mask. Make it fun and fashionable.
I like that you just incorporated something that a lot of us might say, "Oh, I have to wear this. Like, this is different. I don't like change." But then you're saying take the change and
Yeah,
apply it into your life and let it be a part of it and bring some joy by being able to decorate the mask. I think that
yeah.
shows the internal optimism that you have. And then looking forward to the future and being excited. Do you have anything that's like a sneak peek coming up or that you're excited to kind of launch or show?
Well, we know we've been doing scarves, and my buyers had said they love my scarves. And matter of fact, I'm using, and Randy used a scarf. So if you have a scarf or bandana, just take it, wrap it around, and use that also.
Oh,
So I said,
yeah.
leather. So if you have some really fabulous prints, they have great scarves that'll be multitasking because, I'm all about the multitasking.
It's true.
Okay, my wardrobe warriors, I have a whole, group of wardrobe warrior club that these women, it takes a village. We are a village and we're powerful and we help and embrace each other. Also, I'm wearing a new shade of lipstick because I always say, wake up in the morning, structure, take a shower or a bath or wash up, put on something. You don't have to wear makeup. Just pop on some lipstick. So
Mhm.
there's, there's lips. There's some maybe lipstick coming in June.
Okay. I like
With
that little sneak
a girlfriend that
peek.
I know that does doll 10. Just say, oops, I say,
Love her. Love her. Oh, well, then we're very excited to hear about that too. I think that's so true. Just those simple little things. I literally put on perfume yesterday, and my husband's like, "You're coming upstairs to do a live show like by yourself. No one can smell that." And I'm just like, I know, but it just
but
made me
he
feel
did.
so good. He did, yeah.
And you did, and that's the whole beauty of it. And
Yeah.
then the other thing, I'll give a sneak little, is that I am writing a book and
Oh,
publishing it. and it should be out in August or September, and it's called Women with Control.
Ah,
And
there
it's
it
going to
is.
be easy reading for a 12-year-old up to a 100 and whatever year old woman.
Ah, that's so great, because then we can get your inspiration all packed
Right.
up into a book.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait till a live show. That's so fantastic. So now you're making my mind wander, because you're an entrepreneur. You started off in fashion. Now you're going into publishing. You're getting some makeup and things of that nature. How do you choose, and when do you choose to kind of go down different avenues that you have passions in? Because that's something that I think, even if you're not an entrepreneur, as just a person, you have multiple passions, right? How do you decide, okay, do I parallel them at the same time? Do I take one now and do one later? Could you give some inspiration for us on how you decided?
You can't be all over the place. I am, and I don't get a thing. No, but I'm a very A-type multitasking lunatic. Okay, which most people,
Organized chaos, right?
right. And Renee, not everybody's like you, because I'll go and say, well, why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? But I realize we cannot. You have to departmentize what you're going to do. But what I do is I look at the horizon, and I'll go and I'll say, okay, I've got Women with Control, and I'm constantly working on that. We had the regular Women with Control, then we did moisture wicking, which I wouldn't thought it was wicked, because of me, but it's wicked. And you denim, and then I'm doing pry and stretch and going on, and I have some other things there. And then the Attitudes by Renee, and I'm expanding on that. So you take something that you're doing, okay, that's working, but how can I make it better?
Yeah.
And then, okay, this is working, how can I make that better? And what can I incorporate in that would make a perfect picture? Again, I'll say it, we're a canvas. So what is it going to be of that canvas that you need? Maybe it's earrings, maybe it's a necklace. Again, whatever it is, that's where I go. And then, okay, fine. People have been asking me a lot. So maybe it's time, and I'm a very private person in my personal life, but maybe it's time that I put it out there and show. This will be my calling card for young girls, because, I want to, inspire everyone, even a young girl, if she has aspiration. Don't ever let anyone knock it down. I mean, that's what I love about Oprah and, women out there, Michelle Obama, okay. I'm not going to get political, whoever it is. But there's so many women out there that give us that inspiration, and our children need that, and our young girls need that. And then to go from there.
Yeah. I mean, our young girls and young boys all are going to be our future leaders. So inspiring them is
And boys will
crucial.
be reading my book too.
Yeah. I believe it for sure. I mean, we've seen The Devil Wears Prada, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness. So how can we follow and support? You mentioned Wardrobe Warriors. So tell me how that group started, and now it's expanded and it's quite large. And how do we get a part of that?
Okay, so on Facebook, I'm Renee Greenstein, public figure. And then from there, you can join the Wardrobe Warrior Club. Great club. And these women show how they dress and everything. One woman, Patrice, she's handy in knitting and everything, and she's made some great scarves for me and berets and inspired me. So that's why I did a beret and inspired me to do hats. Okay, and then you have Instagram, where you can follow me on Renee Greenstein _. Twitter is Renee Greenstein QVC. YouTube, Renee Greenstein. And most important is my website, which is www.reneegreenstein.com. And then you can find all the things that I can't normally say out there in the world that, follow me and you'll see. Because you know what? This too shall pass. And I will be on those planes so quickly.
I believe it.
Inspiration, but, we all have to look at it that, yes, we're in a time, but again, this too shall pass. We will be out there. Be prepared to get out there. You might want to have to go on a job interview. We're also Zooming and Skyping, so you do need to look nice. But what am I going to have that I can go out there? What am I going to do? What am I going to be looking forward to? You know what I'm saying? We all have to go through that, because our imagination is fabulous, and experiment at home.
We have the time to experiment at home. That's for sure. Start preparing now, building that foundation for when we can go and do. But I love what you said, this too shall pass. That is a phrase that we use in our house all the time. We're like, it says, and it came to pass. Thank you.
Right, exactly.
Oh my goodness. So is there any other words or things that you would like to share with us to just feel inspired, or also just to know that we can also come to you and follow you and know more about Women with Control and Attitudes by Renee?
Well, yes, again, I emphasize to everyone, okay, structure yourself to get out of that bed. There are going to be days. Hey, listen, I've been tears, close to tears too. I have family that are going through this virus and friends, whatever. So, but I get up each day and I make it positive that, okay, I'm going to look in that mirror, hop on a little lipstick, slick the, I mean, the roots go out of my face, whatever. The nails I haven't done, I'm not great at that, but it's okay. All right. And then think of things you can do and understand, as I said, you're going to be going out there. And how are we going to do? I want people to be positive. I want you to stop texting. Okay?
Interesting.
Pick up a phone, call someone. Skype, FaceTime. Because you know what? There are a lot of people that are out there by themselves.
Yeah.
Not everyone might have a partner or a husband or family or what have you. There are a lot of people out there by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So think of, picking up the phone and saying, hi, how are you? Okay? And girlfriends, stop the baloney about, I don't have any makeup on, I don't want to FaceTime. Get real. Okay? This is the time when we can shed everything.
Yes.
Reach out. Reach out. If you're having a bad day, reach out to someone. Reach out to me. I'm serious. I mean, it's, I always answer my emails. I always, my private messages and everything. Reach out and learn. Because you know what? You might say, I don't want to let anyone know that. But you know what? You might talk to someone and go like, you know what? I'm going through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we learn.
The fact too that you never know what someone's going through, and then being able to just reach out, like you said, face to face, you're going to get more information, learn more, and be able to help and support better when you do that. I think that you've definitely like pricked my heart. I need to do that more. I need to call and FaceTime my family and not rely on texting. So I appreciate you holding me accountable right now.
Well, no, because my girlfriend this morning, something's going on, and she texted me about it, and I said, bunk it. And I picked up the phone. I said, what the heck? She goes, well, I knew if I text you, you would call. I said, why couldn't you call me? I always, okay, this is the other thing. I'm always afraid you're busy. I want everyone to stop, okay? Stop it, okay? Because you know what? I'll say it to anyone, okay? I pick up the phone. Courtney, you're busy. You'll say, hun, can I call you back? Right? Not a good time. Or if you hear it in someone's voice, you might take the time and say, okay, what's wrong? Because the other thing is sometimes we call and you can hear it.
And also too, I think we all as women, we put a stigma on each other and say, oh, you're busy, you've got a lot going on, you're doing more than me. And there's that comparison that can also put up a wall and be a boundary. So I think that is definitely a good reminder too, just to call, step out, just check in, and then listen. I think that's really crucial. So I thank you so much. I'm like, okay, I can do this. On my 4 hours of sleep, I can do this.
You're fabulous. I'm inspired by you, and I love the first time we worked together. And we worked in the morning. It was amazing. And guys, if you don't know her, she is unbelievable. I absolutely, and this is from the heart because I don't BS. You are so inspirational yourself. I think it's phenomenal. I'm glad you're part of the team.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. I love working with entrepreneurs like yourself, not only motivating, but also inspiring. So thank you, and bringing great lines. Attitudes by Renee and Women with Control are both on QVC.com. Go follow her journey, but also shop the line if you can. So Renee, thank you for taking the time out and really just talking to us and connecting. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It's been great.
All right. Well, have a good one. Bye-bye.